Hi guys, this is Mark Shawson, the Pattern Trader, and I'm really excited to announce that in a few days I'm going to be running my Days of Christmas campaign. This will mean that you can check in with me live while I identify high risk reward opportunities using only price patterns and price action. Now, I've been able to utilize this scientifically tested trading methodology to identify a huge winning trades like this, and like this, and like this one, and like this one, and like this one. Well, you get the picture. I look at the markets on a very different basis than most others that you'll find, ruminating and searching around on the internet. I look for moves that will happen over a few days, a few weeks, or even a few months. I'm not day trading using moving averages or other strategies that frankly will not reap you consistent winners. So I really am excited about this. This will give you a bird's eye view on how I look at price action and price patterns to identify winning moves. Use this opportunity. It'll be a limited offer. We won't have that many seats available, and I know that there'll be thousands of people who, will be on this webinar. So with that said, I want to talk about a euro-yen trade that I did recently. Now, the euro-yen, I believe, is in a long-term secular downtrend. And so counter to, this downtrend, I saw that there was a certain momentum that would carry the euro-yen higher in the past few days. And I used that momentum to make some very nice coin. In a minute, I'm going to go to the real-time charts. I'm going to show you exactly what I was looking at on the euro-yen chart, the conflict that it has presented me, in that I think that the euro-yen will ultimately go lower, but counterintuitively and to counter trend, I saw that there was some momentum to the upside. And so I stole a couple of pips. Actually, it was about 200 pips on the upside by sitting in the euro-yen trade for a couple of days. So this will give you a sneak peek on how I look at the markets on a macro and micro basis, how I use both a combination of weekly and daily charts to set up monster trades in the market. So with that said, I'm going to go to the real-time charts. Before I go to the live charts of the euro Japanese yen trading pair, I want to direct your attention to an email that I sent to thousands of our members around the world on November 24th. The title of my email was Euro Yen Inverted. In a minute, I'll show you why I called it Euro Yen Inverted, because we had a couple of trading patterns with an inverted head and shoulders. So you can see these were the patterns I was looking at on the price chart at the time I sent out the email. As I said, in a minute, I'm going to go to the real-time charts, show you exactly the rationale why I looked at going long the euro-yen, despite the fact that I thought it was in a long-term bear market. So you can see in my email, I said buy the euro-yen at the market. At the time was trading around 124.21. And my rationale at the time was euro-yen has formed an inverted head and shoulders bull pattern in the May-June time frame. It appears we may be tracing out the same pattern in the near term. The path of least resistance appears higher. Accordingly, I really like the risk reward on this trade. So remember, we bought the euro yen at 124.21 and I closed it out about 200 pips higher. In this chart, I'm looking at the euro versus the Japanese yen trading pair on a weekly chart. This means that each one of these price bars represents 1 week in time. Now you can see over the course of time, the euro versus the yen has really been kind of a flat trading affair, neither up nor down. So then how do we pick trades out of a market like this? Well, what I always refer to are what I call governing price patterns that dictate the course of action following the consummation or fulfillment of that trading pattern. So let me show you what I mean. So in this particular time frame, we saw a well-discerned head and shoulders price pattern. A head and shoulders is exactly what it sounds like. This is the left shoulder, the peak is the head, and this is the right shoulder. And when it's formed, it looks like a man or woman's head and shoulders. So this is a reversal pattern or a bear price pattern where after once it is filled, it then directs traffic as to where the market's going to go following that. And you can see this bear price pattern followed through to the downside. Now you can see in a more recent time frame, we have a double top price pattern. So you can see, just like it sounds, this is a double top, which looks like an M top. And after that's fulfilled, prices went lower. So now, basically, to my mind, these are still the governing price patterns in the euro yen, which means that ultimately I do expect the euro yen to go lower. But you can see that there was room for this pair to run when I entered the trade at around 124. And now it's right at that long-term resistance line, and we'll see what happens here. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you how I set up the trade, why I went long on the daily charts, despite the fact that I had long-term reservations that this thing would eventually turn lower. This is a chart of the euro versus the Japanese yen on a daily chart, which means each one of these price bars represents one 24-hour trading session. Now, what you'll also notice on this chart is that we only have price and time. We don't have volume, we don't have moving averages, we don't have Bollinger Bands, we don't have any of what we call leading indicators. All I use is a naked chart, and all I'm interested is identifying price patterns and price action to put me in the direction of monster moves. Now, all the way back in the May-June time frame, we see an upside down or an inverted head and shoulders. Now, this is just an inverted version of the head and shoulders I showed you on the weekly charts, where you see that this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder. And when we come through the neckline, this was the green light for this move higher. And so in the more recent time frame, I saw another one of these inverted head and shoulders. That's why I named my email Euro Yen Inverted, because here again we have an inverted head and shoulders, and it was right here where I spotted what I call an inside bar, where you can see the daily range right here was inside the daily range from the prior day, and we call this an inside bar or a narrow range bar or whatever you want. But what this means is that it's a coiling or storing of energy. And my expectation was once it burst out of here, it was going to unleash to the upside by virtue of its prior patterns. The inverted head and shoulders here and the inverted head and shoulders here. So just so you understand, my trading strategy is predicated on a layered approach, where first I identify the pattern, then I identify the trading bar. I call this an insurance day bar because it directs me where to get in the momentum of a trade, and also identify the risk, and then I layer it with an execution strategy. In this case, I directed our members to buy this at the market because I just thought the path of least resistance was going to be higher. And you can see, following that buy order, the momentum took us higher. Now we're trading at a consequential resistance level around the 127. And as I think that this is still a secular down market, I was a little bit hesitant to stay in this trade. So I directed our members to get out at the market around 126, and we pocketed a nifty 180 plus pips on this short-term counter trend trade. This was the euro yen trade that I placed on my trading platform, where it was a buy of the euro versus Japanese yen trading pair at a price of 124.33, and I exited at 126.01. I did have a take profit at 126.87, but I advise our members to jump that take profit and get out at the market as I saw a slight resistance area building, and as I believe that this is still in a long-term downtrend, I was a little bit hesitant to stay in this trade, so I just ended up pocketing a nifty $72,500 on a counter trend trade in the euro versus Japanese yen using a layered price action, price pattern trading methodology. So I hope you got a ton of value out of this video. And again, I encourage you to register and sign up for our Days of Christmas campaign as early as you can. We'll attach a link alongside this video. And I look forward to seeing all of you in a few days when I go to the markets live and analyze the charts. So with that said, I wish you a healthy and prosperous trading day, and I'll see you next time.